So you have had your informative topic approved. What do you do now? To start your informative speech, read how to complete the informative speech assignment. It tells you you must receive topic approval. You must research a variety of credible sources. You need 5 sources for this assignment. 3 sources must be from published material within the last 3 years. You will have a typed extemporaneous outline, and there are instructions on how to do this outline. You must follow the instructions for this type of outline, which will be submitted on Blackboard. You will prepare an audience analysis. I will send you a video that discusses the audience analysis. You must submit this on Blackboard. Within recording your informative speech, you will prepare PowerPoint slides. When you go into GoReact to record your speech, you will record your speech, you will upload your slides, and then you will time your slides to your speech. You will not change your speech slides while you're speaking. So there is no walking back and forth to the computer. If you are recording your speech on your laptop, you set the laptop up, you sit there, you record. No, you don't sit, sorry, you stand and record your entire speech. Once it's ended, you save it, then you upload your slides, and then you can time them to certain parts within your speech. If you want to know how you'll be graded, you can download this speech evaluation form is in this same area. This shows you each competency that I will be grading you for. I will be looking at the topic. Did you meet your time? Your speech should be 6 to 8 minutes long. Did you have an effective introduction? Did you have your sources? Did you have PowerPoint slides? Were your main points clear and you have a logical progression? Did you have clear transitions? You must have 5 transitions within your speech. Did you use proper language use? How was your conclusion? Did you indicate the ending? Did you review your main ideas? How was your voice? Was your rate really quickly? Were you speaking really fast like this? That's rate. Pitch, that's your highs and your lows. Your volume, did you whisper on your speech or did you speak loud enough? Physical behavior, how was your posture? Did you have hand gestures? Did you have eye contact? Are you looking into the computer? Are you looking at us in the video? Are you looking into the camera? Do you have facials? Are you smiling? Are you frowning at certain parts? Then did you use extemporaneous style? Extemporaneous style means you use your outline. So you should be holding your outline in your hand, giving your speech. You should not be reading any outline off of a computer screen. You should not have your speech memorized. I know you are holding the paper in your hands. So you don't have to hide it. That's what extemporaneous speaking is. You should never write your entire speech out. You should be speaking from an outline or bulleted points. So once you've read how to complete your speech assignment, you can then click on how to cite sources. Now, you're not going to just make up your speech. You're going to verbally cite sources. You're going to use references to find the information from your speech, for your speech. Finding researched information to correspond and back up your information. And this link will take you to a YouTube video that will tell you how to cite your sources. So while you're saying your speech, you should say your source. So for example, if I have a speech about something in basketball, I'll say, according to NBA.com, they said that Kobe Bryant did XYZ when he played basketball. Okay? You will find your sources in 3 different places. You will write your sources within your outline on your outline for your speech. You will write your sources on the reference page that goes along with your outline. And then you will verbally say them out loud in your speech, like I just gave in my example. Also in this area is how to complete the informative audience analysis area. You can download or just open this, and this will tell you what you must do for your audience analysis assignment. Also in this area, you will find how to complete your informative outline. On this video, it gives you step-by-step instructions of how to do the outlining. It tells you step by step what I am looking for. You can also scroll down and read a little bit about what I'm looking for. Also in this area is what's called an outline prep form. This tells you, hey, in this area, put your attention getter. This area, write your specific purpose statement. Here's where you're going to put your credibility statement. Now, you read what it's asking you for, you delete the instructions, and you write the answer. Or not the answer, but you write what goes in that area. Again, in this specific purpose, you will delete this information here and you'll write your specific purpose statement. Today, I will be informing you about Kobe Bryant's accolades in basketball. That will be my specific purpose statement. Then you have your credibility and your preview. Then you will have a transition. You should have 5 transitions. Transitions move your speech from one place to the next. And then you have your body points. Your anything next to a Roman numeral is a complete sentence. Everything else should be a brief word or phrase unless it's a direct quote. And then at the end, you have your references. So you will see all this information and how to complete your informative outline. So your outline prep form will show you that information, and then you will see a sample outline that's completed. It has its transitions, it has its references, it has a reference page, everything. This looks exactly like what I'm looking for in your speech. And lastly, of what you will find in this area is instructions on how to complete your peer assessment. You must complete a peer assessment. That means you're going to watch one of your classmates' speech and evaluate them. You will be either you will be assigned a partner or your instructor will tell you just to pick someone. But please wait for instructions. These are all the different things that are in this folder. There is also in this folder a document that tells you, sends you links to how you can record your speech. How do you post and sync your slides to your speech? Watch these tutorials and they give you information of how to go onto GoReact and record your speech. You will be recording in GoReact. You will not do a speech and then upload it. Your speech must be completed live in GoReact. How can you record your speech? So in this area, you will click where it has the red McGraw-Hill, and it will take you over to GoReact like you did for your introduction speeches, and you will record over in that area. And this is where you can find information about your informative speech. So, how do we complete our extemporaneous speech? There are certain things that you should consider when doing your speech. 1, you must have an intro, a body, and a conclusion. In your attention, the first thing that you need is an attention getter. So that will be your first Roman numeral in your outline. But we're not talking outline. I'm just giving you an overview of the speech. If you want to see specifics for outlining, please watch my outlining video. So you need an attention getter. An attention getter can be a quote, a startling statistic, a joke, but only tell a joke if you're funny, a personal story, um, something that's really interesting, That will be how you start. So you might say, according to NBC.com, there are 8,000 African beetles in the United States. So that might be startling. I don't know. Okay, so then after your attention getter, you will go into your specific purpose. What is your speech about? So today I will discuss the African beetles' infiltration of the United States. That's what your speech is about. One sentence. Then you talk, give your credibility. What makes you credible to talk about this? Have you done research on it because you've seen these beetles at your home? Have you experienced these beetles? Do you just love entomology and love bugs and that study? So you've done years of research and have seen these type of bugs. Why are you credible? So just to say I did research is not to make you credible. Why is this even an interest to you? So my credibility might be I've been very interested in the study of bugs for many years. I've even visited a bug museum, and I find the African beetles are very interesting. So that's my credibility. Then your preview are your main points of your speech. Now, when you did your topic approval form, I said, what are your main ideas? And you guys listed 2 to 4 main ideas. So if you listed 3 ideas in that topic approval form, then in your body, you're going to have 3 main ideas. You're going to have 3 Roman numerals to match your preview. So my preview could be, I am going to discuss where the African beetles originate, their infiltration on the United States, and what you should do when you see an African beetle. So those are my 3 main points of my preview statement. So your intro must have an attention getter, specific purpose, credibility, and a preview. Then you must have a transition. You must transition from your intro into your body. You need 5 transitions in your speech. You have to have an intro from the intro to the body. You have to have a transition. You also have to have a transition from the body into the conclusion. So for my speech, I'll say first, let's talk about where African beetles originate. So the word first is my transitional word. So sometimes people say some people give what they call a transition, but it has no transitional word. So someone might say, there are many African beetles in the United States, and then start their speech. That is not a transitional phrase. There's no transitional word there. Some examples of transitional words are next, thus, moving on, secondly, lastly, in conclusion. So it can be just a word or two, or it can be a complete transitional sentence. Next, we will examine how many awards the entertainer won. So we have the transitional word and we have it in a sentence. You must have at least 5 transitions. Like I said, 1 from the intro to the body, 1 from the body to conclusion, and the other 3 can be throughout your speech wherever you would like. Then after you've done your intro, you go into your body using that transition. And again, these are those main points that you gave in your preview. So your first main point is the first main point you said of your preview. I said in my preview, I'm going to discuss where African beetles originate. So that's the first thing that I'm going to discuss in my speech. Within my body, I will give major information. I will make sure that I am citing my sources. You must use at least 5 sources in your speech. That means I have to go do some research and find information about whatever topic I'm talking about. So if I'm doing the African beetles, I can say, according to NBC.com, African beetles should reach the United States by January. Okay, so obviously I went to NBC.com, I found that information, and I put that in my speech. So I have to verbally say it. You verbally say your source. Your source is also written on your outline, and your source is also on your reference page. Then I will have my transitions within my speech, and then I will transition into the conclusion. So, to conclude, today we looked at, so the first part of your conclusion is a reiteration statement. A reiteration statement is a statement that reiterates what were your main points? What did you discuss today in your speech? Now, I'm not asking you to go into detail and start your speech all over again. So I would say today, so in conclusion, today I discussed where African beetles originate from, how African beetles get to the United States, and what you should do when you see an African beetle. That's what my speech was about. Those were my three main points, and I'm just tying it up in a reiteration statement. Then after your reiteration statement, you will have a final concluding statement. So now you know more about the African beetle, right? So if you were doing a persuasive speech, you would tell the audience to do something. But in an informative speech, you do not tell the audience to do anything. You don't tell them to start anything, believe anything, stop anything, anything of that sort. So for an informative speech, you just have a conclusion. Now let's talk about how you can make your speech interesting. Remember, I'm listening for the tone. You are graded on your tone. That means your speech should not be monotone, speaking at one straight tone. No, you should have inflection in your voice. The African beetle will be here by January. See how my voice sounds different? If I'm excited or if it's something fun, I might speak a little higher pitched. If it's very serious, I slow my tone, my rate down, and I come a little deeper, right? So use pitch and inflection to vary your tone. Also, you don't want to speak through your speech. You don't want to speak this quickly because then people can't pay attention and they don't know what you're saying. So rate is how fast or slowly you're going through your speech. And remember, I need to see hand gestures. I need to see you move your hands throughout your speech. Also, you need to make sure your camera placement is correct. So you do not, oh, and proper dress. So let's talk about dress first. First, you will not have words on your clothing. Do not have anything written on your clothing. I don't care if it's if we're talking about African beetles and you have a t-shirt with African beetles words and bugs on it. No, that's distracting to your audience and they will not listen to your speech. They'll be concentrating on your shirt. Dress nicely. You don't have to have your Sunday's best on, but no holes, no words, no overly distracting clothing. Just nice. No hats, no do-rags. Um, if you have to wear a head covering due to religious reasons, that's okay. But other than that, you should not have on hats and bandanas and scarves and things like that, unless it's something decorative. And lastly, make sure I can see you from the thighs up. If I can only see your face, you're too close. If I can see you from head to foot, you're too far away. If you're too far away, your voice will not pick up on the microphone. If you're too close to the camera, I can't see your hand gestures. So let's take a look at this gentleman on this PowerPoint. He's too close. One, he's sitting. So no, you should stand for all of your speeches. Two, he's too close. I can see that bottom hand as a gesture, but I can't see it clearly. I need to see if he's rocking, if he's crossing his legs, and I can't see anything because he's standing or he's sitting too close to the camera. Let's look at this one. This gentleman is standing too far away from the camera, so his voice might not pick up. Plus, it might be difficult for me to see his facials because he's so far away, his face will not be super clear. And let's look at this last gentleman. Okay, so this is the same picture, but if this gentleman had zoomed in a little closer or stepped up a little closer to the screen, this is fine. I can see his gestures. He's from the thighs up, so I can see if he's rocking back and forth or his legs are crossed or he's doing something weird with his legs. This is perfect camera placement. So these are some things that you need to know when doing your informative speech. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments.